I love it. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7th episode of the
Homerow podcast.
Did we just lose Brian?
I'm your host, Joe. Oh, yeah, it looks like it.
Solid. Perfect timing, in
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah, it was good. It was real good.
Well, we're going to keep going.
We are? Okay. Hi, viewers. Welcome to our shit show.
We'll see if we can get Brian back any minute. But this is the Homerow Podcast, episode 7. This is hopefully not an indication of how the rest of the show will go, but it is an indication of how our scheduling, like the perfect metaphor for how our scheduling has worked out the past couple weeks. So thank you, dear viewer or listener, for sticking with us. I will take full responsibility because my schedule has been dog shit. Going forward, the only other big thing I have is like in June, and then we're good to go. So no worries. You'll get to see our smiling faces every single week. Joining me, well, I'm Joe McAllister, if you forgot, because it has been that long. I write for Examiner, I tweet stuff, I stream stuff to my, well, I guess you're not in the same room, so you're directly in front of me, but my other host here is Zero Doxy.
I stream things into YouTube and say a lot of cusses.
It's true. She's not wrong. Oh, good, now the frame's all messed. Oh, whoa.
Now it's crazy. What happened?
You should see the frame because there's whoop.
Hey!
Okay.
Hey, we're keeping it. Doxy, the frame freaked out because it made you the only focus point. And
So it just has like a close-up of my nose and there's a boogie, isn't there?
No,
Is it there?
It wasn't that bad. It
Okay.
was actually a close-up on your necklace in one frame. So there's like 3 windows. Close-up on your necklace, close-up on your left ear, and then like most of your face.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this guy...
I have become pop art.
Perfect. Somebody should screenshot it.
Yeah.
So
So my internet took a crapper.
Good. Well, we'll be sure to tweet all your concerns, questions, or comments at Cincinnati Bell.
Yeah. Fuck that. Seriously.
This handsome fella that just joined us again is Brian. We are still going, by the way.
Okay, good. So I've missed nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I love your mug. Your mug.
Is that pretty sick?
I love it so much. I'm like obsessed with pirates. Give me that.
Just put it in. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's legit. It's really well done. My wife got it for me in Florida, but you can never have it. You will never get this.
Make your wife send me one the next time.
Make
she
her
goes
go back down to Florida.
Yeah.
Nice.
She needs a vacation, right?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and get away? Be sure to stop at Daytona Beach.
The Witcher's coming out. She's not gonna hang out with me.
I'm gonna be busy. I don't know what you're gonna be doing. But this week, I shouldn't even say this week, this month, because we have missed a couple weeks, has been eventful, but I think a lot of what we're seeing is just kind of like, probably the best way to say it would be evolutions of the same stories. For instance, the ongoing saga with Konami, which actually has a new twist we'll get to with Kickstarter. Konami also canceling Silent Hills, which we didn't get a chance to talk about. I think we should lead off with that because that is a freaking heartbreaker.
Big time.
The fact that Del Toro said in the perfect Del Toro way that it broke his greasy heart that it wasn't happening. Norman Reedus also confirming that it wasn't going to happen. And then Konami officially coming out and saying, sorry, it is no more. Yeah, I think you guys are all on the same page, but feel free to jump in at any point. Doxy, how does that... I know you were looking forward to it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I am hoping that they hear the fans and hear the resounding heartbreak and try to make something work. Like, I'm still begging for a happy ending for Silent Hills because it's been kind of a while since I've been, like, interested in a Silent Hill game. And I think that, I don't know, I felt differently about this one. I was looking forward to it. and like it's a next gen horror game and the first like big deal one. So I really hope that somehow they can make it work. I just really hope.
I guess when it can really think about it, what concerns me is it's starting to feel like Konami's starting to put all their eggs in one basket. And I'm really hoping that they look at their, the games that they're putting out and say, okay, we need Silent Hills. And that is how we're going to, continue to keep this company rolling in the future. Yeah,
and I think to me, it was the other large tentpole. Like, they still have Castlevania, but they haven't done anything good with Castlevania. And again, we'll get to what's going on with which will be the spiritual successor to Castlevania. But with Metal Gear, with Silent Hills, they had two big titles that people could look forward to for the next couple years. Silent Hills probably, personally, I thought it was more of a 2017 title. But it's still, like Doxy said, it was the first one in a while that really had me extremely interested. And the way they revealed it was absolutely unheard of. PT, a playable teaser, hadn't been done, and people couldn't figure it out. And I go back to the moment that I watched the Twitch stream, and I'm the name's slipping me right now of that user, but when they found it, they were the first one to find that ending with Norman Reedus turning around, and it says Silent Hills. Like, that was an awesome moment to be a gamer. Like, wow, a series that I really liked, that scared the hell out of you, with people that I really like making it. It just seemed like everything was perfectly in line to make a blockbuster game that would have made them millions and sold millions of copies.
Yep.
And then they do some stuff. And then they also, the thing that really gets me about it is they didn't just cancel the game. They completely removed any trace of PT from the PlayStation as well, PlayStation Market or store, PlayStation Store. Luckily, I had it. I hadn't played through it.
Yeah, I downloaded it and hadn't played it either. I was wondering if it was still going to be there.
Yeah, so if you have it, you're good. If you get rid of it, you'll never be able to download it again. So
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, they went scorched earth on it, and it's too bad because it's a cool moment in gaming history to be able to remember PT and what Silent Hills could have been. But now it's, only going to live on in a few places. Well, I shouldn't say a few. I mean, there's a couple million PlayStations that have it, I'm sure. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. What's up?
But people have been like putting their PlayStation 4s on eBay with PT, and they've been selling for thousands.
Yeah, and eBay actually had to put the kibosh on it. eBay pulled them all because it's like against some statute that they don't allow. But I know a couple went. I think one went for like $1,500 or something.
Yeah.
If I hadn't known that, I would have packed mine up.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I could buy 4 PlayStation 4s with that shit.
I would have been all right. I mean, I would have missed out PT. It would have been a little bit of a bummer, but would have money.
Yeah.
And that's more important. So,
what goes through your mind when you're like, hey, I really need to play PT. I'm going to pay $1,500 for this PS4.
Well, because this is such a big deal, though, Brian, is the thing. Like, it's a really huge game that got pulled that had already been out there, like floating out there, and this huge studio is just like, LOL, nope, JK. So like this is gonna be a collector's thing eventually, I feel.
I think so too. I can't
imagine
paying that much, but
people pay crazy fucking amounts of money for video games that they can't get easily.
That's true. That's true.
True. Too true, in fact. But it's also another thing, like, on top of the the Kojima thing. Like, the fact that they just seem to be slowly erasing him from the Konami history as well, which is just too bad, because I think...
It's a shame.
It's a shame. I think anybody that's on the outside of that company, and even some, I would imagine, that are inside that company, see these decisions and are like, what are we doing? Like... Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to be getting rid of this big name. Again, unless, like, the only reason I could see them terminating contract was if his salary was just outrageous or something like that. Pardon.
Yeah, but anything that they put that guy's name on was gonna sell. So it didn't, unless he was making, like, some astronomical, I'm talking about, like, 8-9 figures. You know?
I think, yeah. I just go back to the fact that Konami needs Kojima more than Kojima needs Konami. And we talked about it on a previous episode. Like, he can go anywhere. I would love to see him go indie. I would love to see him bring... I can't imagine if he were to bring something that's not called Silent Hills, but another horror title to Kickstarter or Indiegogo or any other, crowdfunding platform. The response, I'm sure it would be funded within 15
overwhelming.
minutes. And,
like this last one was. Doubled its goal in how long? It was less than a day.
Yep. Yeah, so... I don't know. Konami's doing weird stuff, and the fact that they delisted from the stock exchange was also in the news. And I was happy to see that some of the initial reports were some kind of analysis of that story was that it's not necessarily a bad thing. People do it all the time, but it's still, when you look at, you take a step back and you look at all the actions of the company and the top-down decisions, it still looks funny. It doesn't add, or it doesn't, take that ire or that weird look away from Konami when you're thinking about the situation.
Yeah. It's definitely more of a, if this was a single event, it wouldn't even have made a splash at all. It's only when you put it in line with all the other events that it starts to be like, well, something's going on. We don't know what that is, but something is going on.
For sure. It's a bummer because Konami's one of the ones that's been around forever too. And if they do, the rumor that I keep hearing is that they're stepping out of the games market because they do have multiple channels and avenues of revenue like health clubs and pachinko machines and all this other stuff that I'm sure somebody cares about, but obviously the gamers don't. If they were to pull out entirely of the gaming space, it would be interesting to see, because I could also see them not relinquishing any of their IP. What if they just what if they just never want to sell Metal Gear? They never want to sell Castlevania. Oh, that'd be a dark day because we'd lose some good series.
Yeah. Do they still own the IP for Blades of Steel?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
Because I got $10 for that.
I'm sure they'd take it.
Sorry.
What?
That's the song from the game.
Oh, okay.
Blades
I thought you were just being silly, and I was for it. I was behind it.
No.
I
I was being silly, but I was also remembering some good old days.
And then got sad. Let's see.
What else we got?
Well, we've got Battlefront on here that it will have 12 multiplayer maps at launch. Instead of, I think the original number was 8.
Yeah, that's
8.
A little better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more in line with what most first-person shooters are launching with.
Right.
If not more, actually. Trying to think of, like, Hardline has under 10. I may be wrong, but it feels like I only play 4. Which I'm sure is going to be the same thing.
You get that a lot when you don't have enough multiplayer maps.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm still excited for the game. I don't think we've seen enough to justify saying, like, oh, it's going to suck, or EA is going to blow it, DICE is going to blow it. And I do kind of like stepping back and just kind of watching the explosion of comments and discussion. I would say discussion, but it's just like a lot of yelling and people being pissed about a product that's not out, that you haven't seen, you haven't played, and we can't really judge
it's going to get that way. It's going to get that way. It's going to be that way every step of the way. That's just the way that it goes when something as important as Star Wars.
Yeah, it's EA and DICE making us, the game that everybody wanted them to make. I keep like choking on air.
Right?
I don't know. Breathing's tough.
Well, and at E3, EA is going to show the first 3 seconds of any new trailer or gameplay, and there's already going to be 500,000 people being like, "Game sucks. I'm never going to buy this." And you're like, the trailer hasn't even ended yet. How could my phone already be blowing up with Twitter comments?
Oh yeah. Yep. There's some people just being loud to be loud or being jerks to be jerks, which is unfortunately the internet. It's just the way it is.
That's what it does.
It's what it do. Cool. So I want to move on to the Kickstarter stuff because I think this will be a cool topic that we can spend some time on, in fact. So 2 gigantic Kickstarters. The first being Laylee from ex-Rare folks over at Platonic. Platonic?
Mm-hmm.
Platonic. Launched their Kickstarter with a goal of 270,000 and $270,041. That's a weird way. I don't know why I had so much trouble saying that number.
Maybe that's like the cut that Kickstarter would take.
I think it's also they're based in the UK, so I'm thinking it's just based off of pounds, and it converted it to dollars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
33 days to go as of this recording, with $2.4 million pledged.
Wow.
Clearly, there is a demand for the game that should be Banjo-Kazooie 3, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kidding.
No, nobody wants it. Cancel it.
Yeah.
Send it all back.
Looks like they wanted about as much as I wanted Silent Hills, Joe.
Were you going to pony up 2.4 mil? Do you accept checks?
Do you accept bad checks?
What was that middle word? Nothing. Move on. Just when you sign it, it's endorsed.
Rad. The word was rad.
But this one, are you guys excited for the game? Like, did you watch the little gameplay video?
No.
No, it's cute. It's very Rare-esque. I mean, it looks like Banjo-Kazooie.
I know I'm gonna buy it and
out.
like it.
Yeah.
In the end, like I just know.
They got the composer from one of the other ones. There it is. Dream soundtrack. Where is it? Grant Kirkhope, who did Viva Pinata.
Oh, that guy's awesome. I have interacted with him on Twitter before.
Oh, David Wise as well.
Made my heart go pitter patter.
He did Diddy Kong Racing. And Steve Burke, who did Cameo, Elements of Power, if you remember that. I think that was a launch game for 360. Cameo? Or am I thinking of a different one? Either way, the soundtrack looks awesome. Kirkhope and Wise have done a ton of like Donkey Kong stuff. Mm-hmm. So, man, have they met every single goal? Yeah, they've met every single stretch goal. And they had some realistic goals, like 175,000 pounds. I think the next one is 2 million pounds, which would be like $3.5 million, which it's going to hit.
Wow.
That's terrifying because there's 33 days left and it's at 2.5 million. If my conversion is correct on pounds to dollars, of course. And that gets free DLC for all backers. This is one that I actually might look into because the team is... I haven't backed it myself. And I would assume...
I live on a busy street.
Clearly. Nights in Cincinnati get a little rowdy, huh? That was insane.
Gotta love the crotch rockets.
Fast 8, Cincinnati.
Oh, God.
Did you guys ever see Biker Boys?
Nope.
No.
Can't say I have, Joe.
It was a very bad attempt at a Fast and the Furious on motorcycles that I think came out right around the same time as Fast and the Furious or Too Fast, Too Furious. Lawrence
I thought that was called Torque, right?
Torque was another one. That was another one.
Okay.
What was... now I gotta look. The dude from Mad TV, Orlando. I think Orlando Jones was in it.
Nothing, dude.
Oh, man. You guys should look it up. It's so bad.
I don't know. All I want to say is, Hollywood, motorcycles are not going to happen. Stop trying to make motorcycles happen.
Kid Rock plays a guy named Dog.
That's
D-O-G-G.
how you know it's quality. With two G's. Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. There's more. Yeah. Wait till the ambulances haven't gone by either.
That's how you'll know.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, the best was this a line came down from our house to across the street, and it was blocking the road. And a Cincinnati fire truck pulls up. They test the line to make sure it's not live for like power, and they just cut it and they just drop it, and then they just kept driving.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, thanks. Keeping the city safe.
Cincinnati Fire Department. Official motto is "Ain't nobody got time for that."
I'm in Providence, and we get sirens like hourly.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I live in like an apartment resort place. Like they call it a resort. It's basically like if you think of a retirement village that accepts all ages. And we don't hear anything. Like we usually get a ambulance for somebody that fell and broke their hip. So that's pretty
I
fun.
want to live in a retirement village.
It's pretty all right.
My neighbors are like too deaf to hear me and too old to be loud. I like it. I want that.
That's perfect.
I want that.
Some of them go to bed like 10:30. Like, don't you guys go to... Nah. Anyway. People who liked Biker Boys also liked Torque. So, you know. Yep, Orlando Jones from Mad TV, who was also in Drumline. Oh yeah, he was the. He's
now in Sleepy Hollow.
Is he?
Yep.
Well, it's not on his known for part of his IMDb page. Anyway, Kickstarter. I'm glad we went all the way from Yooka-Laylee to Biker Boys to Torque, back to Orlando Jones. Who will be providing voices. I'm kidding. No, he's not. He's not doing voices. But yes, I remember not wanting to get into Banjo-Kazooie because it looked like a kid's game and playing it, and it was awesome. It was just a good 3D platformer, just a fun game with some decent humor and good writing and just like a fun, like whimsical little fun thing. And this looks exactly the same, just with different characters. Is it like a lizard? Some lizard with a bat? Sure.
Is he voiced by Orlando Jones?
Since you said that you're not interested in baby games, there's a game the name is escaping me at the moment. The Last Tinker. Did you ever play The Last Tinker?
No, but I know the name.
Dude, it is really just great. It is just great, and I think that you should check it out. Because I saw it and was immediately like, okay, it looks like a kid's game. I'm going to love it. But
9 out of 10 on Steam.
It's really good. It's really, really cool.
Might have to check it out. See, I keep thinking I'm going to check a lot of these games out. I actually still need to get into Invisible Ink, Crypt of the Necrodancer, and The Witcher is next week. So
yeah, starting the download tonight.
So basically, you are not allowed to play Battlefield.
Pretty much.
Not allowed to play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should probably just like put it in, submerge it in water and freeze it so that you can't play it.
You know what? We should have my Battlefield minute because I think I'm at a point where I'm like on the down slope. My addiction
sure you are.
Yeah.
I can stop anytime I want.
Hey,
I probably already made the intervention joke.
It might be necessary. It depends. The problem is I'll put it back in and I'll just be right back in there.
Right.
It'll be awful. So yes, Yooka-Laylee is one part of the Kickstarter conversation. The other part would be, here we go, pronunciation, Koji Igarashi.
Mm-hmm. That sounds close.
Yeah, that's pretty close if it's not, because he's known as Iga. And I remember being at an event recently that I still can't talk about, and I want to so bad. And folks, checking on this Kickstarter because it went live within 2 hours, had hit its goal, and within 24 hours was already at $1 million.
Doubled it. Yeah.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is the name of the Kickstarter. There's still 30 days to go on that one. This is from the creator. I'm not sure if he's the creator, but he's worked extensively on the Castlevania series, especially Symphony of the Night, which is arguably one of the best, if not the definitive Castlevania game. Is bringing out a new game, and the screenshots look pretty cool. I have a little bit of a problem with them because they look way too close to Mighty Number 9. Just in art style and direction, but they still look really cool. This thing is not Castlevania, but has Castlevania written all over it, just like Yooka-Laylee is not Banjo-Kazooie, but has Banjo-Kazooie written all over it.
Sure.
It's currently at $1.8 million of its $500,000 goal, and this one was interesting in the way that it was presented because they basically said, we don't need your money. We need to show, they showed it to something like 24 different publishers, and they all said, no, we don't think there's any interest. So Iga said, if I do a Kickstarter and I can show that there's interest in this game, will you consider making it? They made this video, and the video is actually kind of cool. It doesn't show any gameplay. It's like some weird CG stuff. And he tells you, if I can show that this is something you want, we will get a lot of money from other people. So don't really worry about, like, there's a $5 is the lowest, and then it jumps up to $28. So you can pledge $5 to show your support, which is actually interesting because that's the lowest number of backers.
20, probably don't get much for that.
No, you get
amount.
You get the gratitude. You get it.
Yeah.
Thank you. $28. You get a digital copy on Xbox One, PS4, or Steam, which is a great price for really what you have to imagine is a very deep game. Symphony of the Night, if you ask me now, could probably fetch $30 on some of these some of these platforms.
Sure. Totally.
$60 is a special backer edition, which is a physical copy. $60 or more, special backer, digital. Oh, for some reason that word was very difficult.
You need some glasses,
I guess, Joe? Man. I don't know what's up.
You're starting to squint a little. I mean, you do live in a retirement village.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fit in.
Stop drinking the water immediately.
And just for curiosity's sake, one backer has purchased the highest level, which is a $10,000 pledge, to join Iga on an adventure in Japan, meet with Iga for dinner at a horror-themed restaurant, and play games on a live stream.
That's amazing.
Oh, you also get some stained glass, which for this looks really cool. There's still like that kind of very Castlevania art style. If you haven't looked at it, the menus look just straight up. Oh man, it's this looks cool. And Castlevania's kind of been a hit or miss for me, and when it's a miss, I just don't even worry, don't even look at them. But Symphony of the Night has a pretty special place. I actually still have it on my Xbox 360 and haven't gotten very far in it, unfortunately. But I wanted to discuss a couple topics with you, not just about these two games. Well, are you guys pumped for this one? Because we talked a little bit about
Yooka. Totally. I've been meaning to do some Castlevania for my Let's Nostalgia series, but I just haven't yet, basically. I have a lot of trouble with losing saves for some reason, so...
That's not a good thing, especially for those games.
Yeah.
Brian, you're not...
No, I mean, I like Castlevania in theory, but I've never really played one till the end, so it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those games that I think highly of the series as a whole, but I'm not really into very much.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to it, so deal with it.
No, I'm against it now. Now I just hate it.
Just because.
Yeah.
So my question to you guys is, have either of you ever been burned on Kickstarter by, say, backing a project that doesn't go through, or something that you thought was going to be very different than it was, or really anything? Brian, have you gone down that road?
Honestly, most of the stuff I've done, I've been pretty sure of. So like the Toe Jam and Earl one was a slam dunk for me. But other than that, I've kind of stuck to either really small ones where it's like $10 if I don't get it, or it turns out to be something else, then it's not really that big of a deal to me. So I've never really pledged like a lot of money in like one chunk to one project. I think Toe Jam and Earl at $60 is probably the highest one. I've actually been burned more on Indiegogo than I have been on Kickstarter, where they kind of have like that partial funding. And I kind of have sent stuff to people that I've known that have created their own Indiegogo thing, and they were kind of like, because I was one of the few people who did it, then nothing ever really happened with it after that. So it was kind of disappointing in that regard. Yeah. Whereas I feel like Kickstarter kind of holds them a little bit more accountable.
I think so as well. I think Kickstarter's also had to change a few rules.
Sure.
Because I think crowdfunding in general is still in its infancy.
Yeah.
But Doxy, have you been burnt?
Yeah, I don't want to like send anybody on a witch hunt or anything, so I won't talk too much in detail about it. But the one thing that I did back, it reached its goal and then just never happened.
Like at
And-
all?
Yeah, it made me really, really sad.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Was it one of those ones where they did at least community updates and were like, hey, unfortunately it wasn't enough, or it was
No.
just like, see you later?
Just nothing. Just
Wow.
Didn't hear anything.
Oh wow.
Those,
Yeah.
man, those are heartbreaking because you'd like to think, especially if somebody is appealing to a mass audience, and to put
Right.
it in a very simplistic term, they're basically panhandling, say, hey, can I have
Yeah,
your money, and I
totally.
will try to make this product and make it the best I can.
Right.
You'd like to think that that's an earnest action, and it sucks that there's people out there like that. I know that I've backed a few PC games in particular that one still hasn't done anything in the way of like a alpha or beta, which I appreciate because they do community updates and they tell me what, hey, we're still working on it, and they're on a very consistent schedule of updates. Like, hey, even if we don't have anything, we'll tell you. So that's cool. I still have faith that at least something will come of that. Another one came out, but it seemed very bare bones when I first played it. And
Those guys are actually on bikes. They're just going really fast.
they've got baseball cards in there.
It's
Used
the
to do
Jimmy
that.
John's guys. So fast, you'll freak.
God. Nice. Oh, if we can get them to sponsor us, I would eat Jimmy John's for the rest of my life.
Dude, I would eat Jimmy John's for the rest of my life anyway.
Give me that Italian nightclub. Oh,
Dude,
so bad. for
there's
you.
no bread as delicious as Jimmy John's bread. It's so fucking good.
It's really good.
Love Jimmy
So good.
John's.
You hear that,
So
Jimmy
good.
John's?
Yeah.
No bread is delicious.
Yeah.
At Jimmy
We're
John's.
ready.
Hashtag Homerow. Yeah, but the one that did come out came out as a full product, and after playing it, I was super excited. Great concepts in it, and just like felt empty, and felt like an early access game that came out as a full product, which is too bad. And they're still working on it. I don't get any community updates from that one. No like blog posts or anything. It's just like, oh hey, there's an update out. Okay, well I get to research the change log and see what changed, and I still haven't launched it in probably a year and a half. Because I'm out, you know.
Yeah.
There's other ones that I'm still looking forward to, like Free Amplitude. Oh, I can't wait for Amplitude. But that's from Harmonix, basically. So I'm assuming that they would
Right.
deliver on their promise.
Yeah, totally.
But we'll see. I think these two games in particular, like I thought that gaming was on the way out with Kickstarter. Like I think a lot of gamers have had those moments. Like all three of us have essentially had some sort of not great experience with a product or a seller or a creator. And I kind of thought that we had moved on, that gaming was like, if it's on Kickstarter, I don't know. It's kind of a gray area. I hope they make it because we hope the best for everybody. But at the same time, they got to deliver something good. Well, these two kind of prove that there may be a different model in weight. And I really like the way that Bloodstained, the Castlevania-ish game, went about it, because they said, like I was kind of illustrating earlier, like we don't necessarily need your money. We need to show interest.
Right.
And I think Yooka was in a similar position. Like, hey, we want to make a game that we think people really want. Can you show us some support? And people came out in droves to support those guys. And I think that's something cool. Do you guys think, one, Doxy, do you think that this is going to lead to a resurgence or second wind within the gaming community on Kickstarter? Or
I mean,
other
golly, I hope
crowdfunding?
so. I think that what's I say it all the time. Just get used to it, okay, Joe? Okay. I think that since these two companies, or whatever, these people already have names to tarnish, I think that that's a reason that people were willing to back them, because they have a lot more to lose than just your everyday dude that puts a game on Kickstarter, you know?
For sure.
So I'm hoping to see a lot more stuff like that. A lot more of people that already have a decent reputation just working on their dream games or whatever, and getting the kind of support that they would get from fans, but not necessarily from big studios.
For sure. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's so funny that I'm nodding as Doxy's talking, because I have the exact same feeling. I love the idea that these designers have been in, they've been in the big companies, they've worked their way up, they're at the top of their game, and they have pet projects. There's something that they're sitting there tinkering with, and I'm making a little, like, this is a screwdriver that they're tinkering with, but I'm not really sure why, but it is. But they have their pet project.
Done.
Yeah, and the game is done. Here you go. It's a box.
Making an analog game.
Yeah,
Where's
exactly.
my hammer?
But they have these pet projects, and they can now come to us, the people who have grown up with them as they've grown as developers, and are now able to leverage that. And those of us who, we have a lot of us, who are adults and we have, disposable income, we're able to fund these pet projects for them. And they have the ability now to make the games that they want to make. And I'm fully supporting of that.
I'm really hoping for more nostalgia titles like this. Really, really hoping for more stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're in a cool spot because we could have people coming back like, with Yooka-Laylee, for instance. I just saying it so quickly is really strange. And Bloodstained. I think there's a really cool opportunity in the fact that you could come out with your Kickstarter and say, so we made this great game 35 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Just imagine what we could do today on today's hardware. And
I can't wait for stuff like that to come out of the woodwork, and I'm just hoping that it does.
So that breeds my next question, actually. Doxy, what would you like to see the most as a Kickstarter game project? I got you both. I don't even know. I gotta think too, so go.
Fuck, man. Spyro is something that I'm like hardcore about. I would love to see
a bike game.
Biker Boys on the Wii
video
U.
game.
Let me get Torque the game even torquier.
Starring Orlando Jones, even torquier.
But yeah, no, I would love to see like Spyro. There's like a lot of games that I would love to see part of the teams come off of that like had gotten inspired from big games that they've worked on, like Donkey Kong and stuff like that would be amazing. And I've always wanted an HD remake of Legend of Dragoon.
Nice.
Did you guys know Ice Cube was in Torque? I was trying to look for any name from Torque. Oh, Christina Milian. Nailed it.
Oh, there you go. Oh. Yeah, with star power like that, I mean...
and Jay Hernandez, isn't that the...
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the guy from Hostel. All right, whatever. I think I'm done with Torque and Biker Boys, except they'll probably make their way to my Netflix. Brian, what do you want to see on crowdfunding next?
So something I would totally love to see would be a new version of Herzog's Vi. I mean, I understand I've played Air Mech on my in my browser, but I would love to have that sort of robot combat / RTS on my console again. But it's funny, I've already said it a couple times in the show, but Toe Jam and Earl would have been the thing, but it's already been kickstarted, so I don't have.
Boy.
I am. I don't think you understand. Like I'm getting little knickknacks and a T-shirt and stuff.
That's the shit we sign up for, people.
Seriously, like I'm not even that kind of guy, but I want that stuff. I'm like, give me the stuff.
Me too. That's the kind of stuff that I love. When we were talking on, I don't know which podcast it was, about collector's editions and stuff like that.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that I love. Love it. Also, I just thought of another thing that I would like to see more of, and
please go before you explode.
Steampunk. I want to see more steampunk video games because I haven't really seen any that I really love.
Nice.
And I think that crowdfunding is a really good way to make that happen because I don't think that a whole lot of studios are too interested.
For sure. I think it's kind of it's almost the same as, Cyberpunk. There's not a ton of Cyberpunk games, and there could be some really cool settings. And as far off as I know it is, Cyberpunk 2077 is probably going to be amazing.
I played the shit out of a game called Dystopia. And it was a cyberpunk game that was just incredible, and the community is absolutely dead, and it's just the most heartbreaking thing that I've ever seen. Because the game is like, there's the punks, and I don't remember what the other team is called. It's been years, but and like so, on each team there's like a set of hackers that have to hack the net space, and then there's people who have to fight combat in the meat space. And there's people that are going after these objectives and the people that are defending the objectives. And that's on each side, on both the meat space and the... So it's such a cool fucking game. And I'm really, really sad that the community has died.
Nice.
It's really, really fun.
Just making a note of that. That was a really cool mention. I want to check it out now. Probably
it's so good. You're not going to be able to find enough people to play, unfortunately.
But
it's so good, though.
Before Monday.
They could kickstart a new...
Yeah, I would be so into that. I would back the shit out of that. I would back it.
So my two, one is difficult because it's basically a licensed game, but I miss the hell. I think I still have both of them. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yes.
I think that basically just taking all the Marvel universe, every Marvel universe character, and even if there was any way in hell to make it happen to where DC characters could make it in there, never going to, but it would be very cool.
Dude, just an X-Men game, just a good X-Men game would make me really happy.
I still
a really
throw in
good
X-Men
TMNT
Arcade.
game would also make me happy. I just nostalgia forever.
I think
Please and thank you.
I think my most requested like genre to be if I was going to do just remakes, it would be all beat 'em up. Streets of Rage is like #1 on my list for sure. That's like my Genesis jam, and then the TMNT, Turtles in Time, like all those, The Simpsons. What was the other one? X-Men had an awesome beat 'em up game. Like if all those, oh man, just make a beat 'em up collection.
Played a super cool beat 'em up at PAX, and I'm like digging through my cards from PAX that I still have all over my desk, by the way, to see if I have it here. It was so cool, and I can't remember it, and it kicked my ass.
What if
Maybe
it was a
that's
beat 'em up
something
game,
we'll
Joe,
have to
that
do.
was with bikes, with motorcycles?
Oh boy, if it was Biker Boys, you had to get
Jimmy
off the
John's,
bike,
the
or you had
video
to
game.
like go.
If
back
If it
and-
was Biker Boys versus Torque, voiced by Orlando Jones,
starring Jay Hernandez,
that would be your
and Christina
that
Milian.
would be your game.
Man,
That
Yeah,
would
I
be
don't
the-
have it.
I
That
should
would
be
be the
taking
shit
notes.
right there.
My other one, what was it? Oh, it was actually inspired today because there was the Assassin's Creed reveal that whatever.
Whatever. Wait.
We
Come
can talk
back.
about
We'll
that
come back
next.
to this. We'll come back to
So
this.
it's a Victorian era London, correct?
Right.
I want a Gangs of New York game.
Oh fuck yeah!
That's actually what I was thinking when I was looking at that trailer. I was like, this is kind of like a Gangs of New York thing.
I saw the butcher and pretty much like just twirled mustache and a top hat. I was like, oh, this would be incredible if you could somehow work in like some cool faction stuff, building up your gang. There's a lot of really cool game mechanics that could be worked into a super cool setting. You could tell a good story, even if it's just ripped straight from Gangs of New York and just change the names. You've got a good story there. So somebody get on that. I mean, I'm more than willing to help. Whatever, for a small
Also-
percentage of your profits.
Guys, hashtag Wild West MMO, hashtag Homerow, hashtag podcast.
I thought for a second you were going hashtag Wild Wild West MMO.
Yeah. That's what you were going to.
I was like,
It's like-
I mean, I'm in. I'm in.
No, a Wild West MMO would be so fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think
It'd be so amazing.
Red Dead was on the way if it was just
Yeah.
a bigger experience, which is sad because it was such a big experience and it was fine the way it was. But I think something that was just that, like GTA Online in the Wild West, where you can create those games. Oh yeah, there's a lot there. Man, we got ideas, people.
Yeah.
This is the Homerow Consultancy
Too
podcast.
bad none of us have any skills with which to do anything with.
Although I will admit that our game ideas, pretty good. Our movie ideas, not so much.
I don't know. I bet we could sell one. Hell, they're making some garbage these days in Hollywood.
I just don't even go to movies anymore.
Yeah.
Don't watch TV anymore. Well, that's a lie. I watch the shit out of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I'm perpetually just watching all the way up until it's like caught up and then just starting over perpetually forever.
Wow.
I pick up so much new stuff every time. It's so
Yeah.
information dense that like you're like, oh, that's the guy from back then that did the thing, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I noticed that watching I had watched 2 seasons, I think, without my wife. She wanted to watch it, and watching just the first season alone, I was like catching so much more.
Yeah.
Oh, so good, so good.
Reading the books helps a whole lot too.
But that's like more time, and I don't.
But it's so good.
I should. I actually.
He's too busy jet setting to LA and living in a retirement community.
You know, life of a big dog. What can I say?
You can get an audiobook so that you don't have to squint your eyes.
Can I play it at like 1.5 times speed, or 4 times, just to trying to soak it all up.
My turn is coming.
That's what he meant.
I was gonna try and simulate a real high chipmunk
Yeah.
voice, and I was just no. So, all right, Brian.
Okay, Syndicate.
Yeah. So, why are you just?
I am stoked. I know I shouldn't be. I know everybody says that you're not. You know, like you're not supposed to like annualized franchises, but
Dude, admittedly,
some people.
it was cool.
Yeah, some people like their Call of Duty. I like my Assassin's Creeds. I love me some Assassin's Creed, and I like the idea of not having to slowly scamper up the side of a building. I just fire the damn rope. It pulls me up to the top. Let's get that over with real quick. You know, be able to shoot and slide down a rope. I want to do that. The combat looks like it's, not just standing there waiting for them to fight you one-on-one when there's a group. I like the idea of where it's going, and there's an actual, female character if you want to play them.
Which always makes me happy.
Yeah, it makes me happy too, and I like the idea that it's a husband and wife team.
Yeah.
Doing it. That's pretty cool. I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot going for it. I think they're building off the mistakes they made in Unity, and I think this is going to be a better game.
I think it looks pretty cool. I think it looks really cool.
See, first thing I have to mention is that Brock Lesnar's in the game, possibly. Which is, oh my god, he's in the game. There's a picture on IGN, oh god, of him hitting another guy in the head with a shovel. Anyway, the headline's perfect. For some reason, Brock Lesnar might be in Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
All right.
I wholeheartedly agree. He could do fine. I'm sure even if they just use a character model to show somebody fighting. I think my biggest thing is I've wanted, and I know that they probably couldn't halt production, I've just wanted Assassin's Creed to take some time off to really think about everything and like storytelling and animation, and I just don't feel like there's an inherent jank in Assassin's Creed that I think is accepted, and it shouldn't be, because I think I really actually liked Unity, but I also was able to look past the control. Like, it's just kind of that's just Assassin's Creed. That's just the way it handles it. It's just an Assassin's Creed thing to run up the wrong wall or like run up the same pole 3 times because you can't get grabbing onto this other thing. And I just think that it's at the point where they need to really chill for a moment. And as weird as this is for me to say, I wouldn't have probably said this 2 years ago or a year ago even, but the Call of Duty approach of having 3 studios work on a 3-year cycle has done wonders for that series, has brought it back from the brink of like total destruction with Ghosts, and allowed, oh gosh, it's slipping me now. Treyarch's working on Black Ops 3. It was Sledgehammer did the last one. And it allowed them to craft a really good story, a very competent multiplayer, a cool wave-based mode, and they put together a really, to me, worth it $60 package. And Assassin's Creed Unity, while good, I just lose both of you.
What
you
the heck
did?
just happened?
Oh, I don't.
Oh.
Holy cow! There's Brock Lesnar.
I could not.
I really hope you see how good this looks on the recording. Because it's just Brock Lesnar in your square.
That makes me really happy. I'm Brock Lesnar. I have extra heads where my shoulders go. Hi. I'm gonna be in Assassin's Creed. Okay. I'm sorry. I cannot do that.
That's too good.
Oh, God.
Oh my
Alright,
god.
I'm sorry.
That was a thing of beauty. It was literally him in the lower corner. I don't know. I just think, to me, Assassin's Creed has some like thinking to do before it becomes like it's a great series, and I think there are like some missteps. Like Assassin's Creed 3 on the whole is a misstep, and I have hope, as I kind of always do for any game that comes out and at least looks kind of cool, that it'll show up and it'll be great. But I'm getting a little worn out to the point where when a new Assassin's Creed is announced like this, I'm just kind of like, whatever. I'll have other things. Hopefully Fallout 4 or something else that's just going to take up my time. Oh, it's happening.
Bethesda, please.
It's a sure thing. You can take it to the bank.
I want more Bethesda in my life.
Yeah.
Why
It's
can't
as
they
sure
do
as
annuals?
the Last Guardian.
Oh, don't. Brian, shut up. God. God. I'm just going to end the call.
Well, that was the Homerow podcast.
Just fade to black.
Well, the thing is he could cut me off and just throw me off the call, and I'll think my internet crapped out. So I'll be sitting here the whole time texting like, oh, I think my internet crapped out, and he's going to be like, ha!
Nope, you're not allowed back.
Yeah, keep trying.
In other news, we are hiring a third member for our podcast. There's an opening. It's recently vacated.
Must be named Brian because that's what's on the art.
Yep. I am not asking for another one. If your name is not Brian, I'm going to call you Brian.
Yes. We're just like, so welcome to the podcast, Brian. He's like, my name is Pedro, and we're like, what was that, Brian?
What are we talking
So
about?
sorry. I'm so
Brian.
sorry, Brian. Yeah.
All right, so let's get to what we've played. Doxy, what have you been playing?
Oh, so many things. I've been playing the shit out of Killing Floor 2.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so good.
And?
There's not enough maps.
Oh.
But yeah, there's only 3 playable maps right now, unless you want to get into like custom maps, which we have done, and it's been super fun. But they're a lot easier than the official maps. But oh my god, these other maps are beautiful. Aside from one, there's this one called the Biotic
So 2 out
Lab,
of
which is
3.
really good. Yeah. And my friend Meatloaf says that that's not bad, so I'm cool with it. And that went right over your heads, and I'm gonna keep going. So
Can you
that's
play
fine
Meatloaf?
with everybody. No, Meatloaf. Don't be sad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. No.
That was pretty good. That was really good.
Anyway, Biotic Lab is in the laboratory that screwed everything up and made the clones, and they became monsters or whatever. And it's really, really cool. And Burning Paris is in just like this beautiful Paris town, and the blood is pretty and reflective and shiny, and it's beautiful. I am not looking forward to the XP wipe that is coming as soon as they add all the new classes, but there's going to be a bazillion new classes, and I'm really excited about it. And yeah, Killing Floor.
It looks pretty cool. It's like a, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like a kind of wave-based defense, first-person shooter.
Like survival.
Yeah, okay. That's a much better word.
Yeah. It's super good.
Yeah, I've seen, I think I watched the guys from Funhouse at Rooster Teeth play that, and they panicked, and it was hilarious, so it made me really want to play it, because those are probably my favorite instances when people panic.
They only have one boss. You should watch my VODs from when we first played it, because there's only one boss so far, and he is the scariest video game villain I have ever faced.
Really?
Terrifying. Like I played that boss wave, the entirety of it, with my butt clenched tight. Like it was so scary.
Impressive.
It was so scary. Fucking, and now my butt is really toned.
Well, hey, it's called a cause and effect relationship.
Thank you, Killing Floor 2.
Oh, there's a box quote for you. Killing Floor 2.
My ass is toned.
Toned my beehole.
Thanks, Killing Floor. But yeah, no, so good, and the boss, amazing. I can't wait to see the other bosses that they're gonna add, because there's gonna be other bosses, and just I'm so fucking hype. I loved Killing Floor 1, played the ever living shit out of it, and I have already played just as much Killing Floor 2.
And that is early access currently, correct?
Yes,
cool.
Yes, but buy it, do it.
Yeah, it's only 30. It's not bad, and there's a digital deluxe for 40. I don't know what's different, but
I don't either. But do it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Direct all complaints to twitter.com/0doxy.
But no, like, okay, so the thing with Killing Floor 1
refunds,
was,
yeah.
What? When was Killing Floor 1 released? It's got to have been like 10 years. Almost.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I haven't heard about it forever, so that means it's old, right?
Yeah, it's getting up there. It's getting up there. But they continued to support it up until the very fucking end. Like
2005. It's 10 years old, yeah.
Yeah, adding new DLCs and maps and all kinds of things. So I am absolutely positive that you will get your money's worth for Killing Floor 2. I'm 100%. Let me guarantee for you, if they won't, that you're gonna have a good time.
You know where to find her.
Yeah.
Folks.
So far, Doxy's guaranteed a good game and a toned ass.
No, I just said that my ass is toned, okay? And if you don't have a good time, how's this? If you don't have a good time, I will send you a picture of my toned ass. I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't. But it's good, and you're gonna like it, and it doesn't matter. So there's that. And another small bit of news is I have to pull Bloodborne from the Doxy death count.
What?
It's way too hard to set up, dude. We spend like 2 hours setting up for a 3-hour stream every time, and then I tear it down, and it's just too much.
Is it just the fact of like the PS4 versus you?
Yeah.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If it was on PC, it would not be a problem, but it's not, and it won't be. So there's that. It's dead. It's done. I'm really sad because I was having a good time with it, but also viewership was not crazy good for it. People didn't really like watching it as much.
You know what I'm adding to the evergreen topics as we speak?
What's
that? Console exclusivity.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I could talk about that shit all damn day.
I mean, the question is it ever actually a good thing? For anybody except the publisher/developer. But we will dive into that when it's a really slow news week.
Totally. So what we're going to be playing, I believe we will be doing Shadows of Mordor, because that game is so very good. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you got me for that.
That was my game of the year last year.
Yep, I'm excited, and my co-hosts are going to be streaming alongside me so that they can take advantage of the Nemesis system and go and kill the people that have killed me and stuff. And it's going to be just such a good fucking time, and I'm really excited.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I will watch that.
Do it.
Yeah,
I'll send you pictures of my toned ass.
I keep thinking of now if you should add that to your Patreon as a tier. $25,000.
That's a thing that I wanted to talk about today, actually, on this podcast, is I have been approached. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this. They haven't told me not to talk about it, but I've been approached by the dudes at Game Wisp, which is a thing much like Patreon, but different. And I am really into it. They look really cool. Anybody who has a Patreon up should definitely check them out. That's really all I have to say. Is I'm thinking about making the switch because it's just elegant, and the dudes are super cool, and yeah, I really like their business model.
Awesome.
Oh, cool. Okay, GameWisp WISP. .com is their site.
Yeah, they're super super cool, and you should look into it if you have a Patreon for sure. Or if you're thinking about making one, make one with GameWisp instead, maybe. Coolio.
Brian, what you been playing?
Yeah, so I really haven't been playing a whole lot. We've been doing a little traveling and stuff, but I've been playing Dungeons 2, which is super fun.
Was it? Oh, okay, good.
Holy crap, it is amazingly fun. Like the narrator, it has like, you know, the like a narrator like Bastion does. He is hilarious the whole time. So in an RTS, I'm a bit of a turtler. So it really takes me a long time. So he's called me like the ever patient ultimate evil. Like, you know, he's made fun of me so many times for taking too long to make a workshop or to build this or to do that. It is just funny to have the game just totally make fun of you for, you know, not playing well enough. And then I accidentally unearthed something that was going to happen later. And he's like, you know, we respectfully ask you to not move forward into that area until we get to that part of the game. Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. You bet. But it's been really fun. And the art style is great. And it's a dungeon keeper game. You know, Joe, I know you've done a review for it as well. It's just a lot of fun. It's just good old fashioned fun. I mean, like bottom line. What did you think of it, Joe?
I loved it. I really, really did, and it took me by surprise because I can't say I was like the most adamant fan of Dungeon Keeper or any of the old school ones. I played them. I could respect what they were, but it wasn't like my thing. I never spent a lot of time in it. And when the opportunity came up to review this, I said, sure, I might as well jump in. And it really did take me by surprise. Like you said, it's just fun. I don't think it's going to win any, you know, storytelling awards or any big awards, but I think it's a very, very solid game. Good mechanics, some really good, like I appreciated the animations of the little guys when they're running around and the kind of autonomous features that they would like throw up decorations on the wall for you. The fact that I could do what I needed to do and trust that my dungeon would be okay if I sent people out. Like there was just a lot to it. And it seemed like whenever I thought the game was about to end, like the campaign, there was a little bit more. And then there's always the option to just jump in and create a game. And it's still, I kind of judge games as by the standard of like, do I still have them installed after I've played them for a little bit? And that one's still on here. That'll be one I pop in and just jump in and play a quick game. I mean, you know, if you got an hour to waste, it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah. It's really, yeah, you're right. It really doesn't do anything innovative, but it does everything so solid that you just have fun with it. I've also been playing Bloodborne, decided to take the plunge. I've gotten through the first 3 bosses. I don't know, the blood starved beast.
Demon?
That was the last thing I did. I took that out. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go next. But I've been walking around.
Good.
I'm sure there's a path I haven't found yet. I just need to find it. I walked into some woods with some dogs that have knives in their teeth. I don't really know why they have knives in their teeth, but they do. And guys with guns are there too. That's where I just walked into. That's where I'm at.
You want a pro tip?
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to be there yet.
Oh, okay. That would be why I keep dying there a lot.
Go back from whence you came.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. That's good to know. All right. Yes. So, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad I don't have a shield. I know there's a lot of probably Dark Souls and Demon Souls fans that are missing the shield, but I don't feel like I ever lean on it now. Like I felt like in Dark Souls 2, I spend a lot of time like, should I be trying to block this guy or should I not?
So much.
Forget all that. All I do is I wait till he's about to do. I shoot him real quick. He goes, bleh, and then that weird sound happens, and then I just beat the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I do now. I wait for him to do something. I shoot him. I hit him, and then we're all happy. Except for those really, really big dudes. I don't like those guys.
There's
I don't know what they're called.
A lot of those.
Yeah. But other than those guys, everybody else is great. Nice. Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying the game.
Good. I've been noticing, and Doxy, I remember you mentioning this, but the more that I see people that have been not really Souls fans getting further into Bloodborne, the more I'm seeing on Twitter and in podcasts and just interviews and people's opinions that the later you get into the game, it just seems to be arbitrarily against you or stack the odds in a very strange way, like with homing projectiles. And
totally.
That
it gets really fucking hard. You have to really want it. You have to really, really want it to even continue playing the game. It's brutal. You're gonna cry.
Oh yeah. I had a one Sunday where I lost like 20,000 blood echoes. It was just bad timing, or me doing something stupid.
My biggest was 40,000.
Goo.
It did not feel
Wow.
good. No, it did not.
Did you cry?
No, I was streaming. I put on my big girl pants. I'm just kidding. I don't wear pants when I stream.
She just has her toned ass. That's all she's got.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just a Doxy rear end fiasco over here.
Let's pretend we didn't want that.
Oh,
What about you, Joe? What are you playing?
Yeah, what are you playing, Joe?
Cover that.
I'll tell you what I've been playing. Damn it.
Oh, you better tell us.
Well, it was funny because before the podcast, I was trying to think of what I have been playing a lot of, and I wasn't just gonna say Battlefield. I've been playing Battlefield, but I wasn't gonna say just that. I was actually wanting to bring up the Weaponographist.
Yes.
Which I kind of
Love it.
took upon myself to review of my own accord. It wasn't dictated to me. The PR company was kind enough to send me a code, and I freaking loved it.
Yeah,
and I
it's
didn't
really,
think I
really
was going
crazy
to.
fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Every single time you die, you just want to get right back out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I asked you like if it was like Rogue Legacy, and it is, where you spawn
A
back
little
in
bit, yeah.
town, and you've
Totally.
got not necessarily like building up your castle and all this stuff. You've got more like your vendors. And it's got the penalty of, like, if you want to get back to the spot or the level you were at, you have to give up 90% of your currency, which is goop.
Yeah.
There's just some really cool mechanics and choices. I wasn't huge, kind of like you, on the degrading combo meter. But once you start to kind of get your character up there, it's a little bit more of a breeze, and it becomes a little bit quicker.
It's definitely more manageable
Yeah.
the higher level you get.
Because I think you can get skills or perks to like cut it in half or something like
Yeah.
that. So it was awesome. I just wanted to keep seeing like what new enemies were going to be introduced, what new weapons were coming. There were things like bladed yo-yos and whips, and you get like a slingshot, but you actually end up firing acorns or pine cones.
Yeah.
And the enemy design was really cool. Like the first boss is that T-Rex that throws up a lot and is like wearing some weird rocket armor.
jetpack.
Is it a jetpack?
It's a jetpack.
Ah,
It's a jetpack
Nice.
dino. Yeah, I thought that the enemy design in that game was pretty kooky. I thought that it made no fucking sense whatsoever. I hated the art style. I hated the animations, but I played the shit out of it because I loved it. It was that fun. It was so much fun.
yeah.
Nice.
There's some weird decisions. Like right away, there's guys with like Tommy guns. They don't.
Yeah,
shoot
the
super
mafia
fast.
dudes, like,
Yeah,
what are they doing
in a dungeon,
here?
like a stone
Yeah.
dungeon. It's weird.
Right, exactly.
And the art style was definitely. I remember you mentioning that it was kind of mobile gamey, and I got the exact same vibe.
Yep.
And what was confusing was I actually really liked during like what were essentially cutscenes or conversations, they would have like a large tile slide in that was the character you were talking to, and that was in like I thought it was really neat, like watercolor based portrait. And I understand it probably took a long time to just do that one frame or 2 frames or however many it was. But if the whole game was in that art style, I think it would have been just gorgeous. They could have done some really
It would have
cool
been
stuff.
unique, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have. Oh my god! There's the thing I forgot to talk about. I'm on fire today. But let's finish talking about this first. I think that it would have been really cool. Yeah, that what you said. It looks like somebody really lovingly created something in Photoshop or Manga Studio or something.
Yeah.
And they just didn't. And it didn't fit. It didn't fit.
Yes. That's what's
With the
weird.
rest
It was
of the
really
art.
disjointed. And
Yeah,
you'd
it
go
was
from a
so
conversation
beautiful.
and you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's cool. And then, well, a perfect example is one of the main vendors. He's like in a purple suit. I don't know if you remember him. But he's
Yeah.
got like some weird, like janky teeth and stubble and looks just a little dirty. But then you see him on the in-game actual screen and he just looks he looks normal.
Dude, yeah.
He looks
Sure.
completely normal. Doesn't really fit with the way that you.
It's like they had
interpret
two
him.
different teams working on the same thing or something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like I like the art. I like the art in the game itself.
Mhm.
I just don't like it as video game art. personally. It didn't do it for me, especially with the really, really bad animations. But the game is fun enough to play anyway.
Yeah. Did you notice it was a little floaty? Like your character in particular?
Yeah, a little. But like once I got my rhythm with it, it didn't.
It's consistent.
So much. Yeah.
So you can kind of account for it. That's what I figured. But I was really surprised. I'm very glad that you brought that up, because otherwise I wouldn't have requested it and wouldn't have played it. And I think I have something like I have a lot of hours. I don't even want to know. Actually, last time I checked, I think it was at like 30. Like I was playing it in the background while doing other stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. You played more of it than I have now.
It was really cool. And like I said, I just wanted to see the new enemies. I wanted to see the new bosses. That fucking tree boss was a bastard. Just spins around and comes right for you. But anyway.
I'm super stoked that you loved it.
Yeah, I was playing one more thing that I can't talk about, but if anybody is familiar with the series, I did spend some time in LA and got to play a amazing game that will be coming in September, and I can't talk about it till June, and it's killing me. It is absolutely killing me, but I will be sure to gush on the show for June 9th would be... Oh, I'll get to talk about it on June 10th then.
Dope.
Because we'll be recording.
Nice.
Ooh. Maybe. I have a trip. We'll work it out because I want to talk.
We'll see what happens.
I want to talk about it as soon as I
my
can.
luxury cruise or whatever you're on next.
Okay. Can I talk about the thing that I forgot to talk about?
Nope, that's a show.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Scoop.
All right, bye everybody.
I can't make the Skype noise.
No, okay, so I got an extended demo of Jotun.
Oh, yes.
And,
oh,
yeah.
please.
And it was, so
We're
it
both
was
so
super
excited.
cool. It was very different from what I thought it was going to be. Because at PAX, all you got to play was the boss fight, right? But before you can do the boss fight...
Someone's excited.
Hi, Brody. He wants to hear all about Jotun.
He's excited.
But so there's a lot of wandering around and like figuring out sort of like, I don't know, geography puzzles almost. It's really, really beautiful and cool and just well done, and I'm looking forward to more because all it is that and then the boss that I played at PAX. But like I got to play the lead up to that boss, which I am super stoked about. I thought there was going to be more to it, and I like streamed it, but it's
Did
just
you beat
I
it
can't
and just
wait.
go, oh.
Yeah, it was during my marathon stream, my 24-hour stream. I was just like, I totally have time to do all the games, and so I was like, I'm gonna do Jotun because I have this extended demo now. But yeah, I am even more excited than I was before now.
Nice.
Well, that's good to hear, especially because my concern as you were talking was that you played that geography puzzle part and you were like, I don't know.
Nope,
That's
loved
good.
it. The people that were like hanging out with me, they were not crazy about it, but me as the player, I loved it. I was psyched.
Awesome. And that's what really matters.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
My opinion, not the player.
Oh, yeah. Doxy does not care about her audience. Just remember that. Remember that forever.
None of yous. Anyway.
Cool. I'm trying to think. I really didn't play a whole lot else. I really wanted to get to, as I mentioned, Invisible Ink and...
Yeah, I'll be getting into that pretty soon.
Crypt of the Necrodancer. So
Necrodancer is crazy fun.
Yeah. So I think this week will be... I actually may try and stream some stuff this... I should check. Yes. Tomorrow and Friday. I'll be streaming. Probably get started on Invisible Ink first.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I will have to check that out.
It's time to get all the things in before Monday.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it'll be a slog, but I'm looking forward to it. And then nothing else on Tuesday. Nothing. All right. So I think we got a show, folks.
Yeah.
What do you say? Is that... Never mind. I was going to... Something about...
My toe dash.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, that was just goodbye in my language.
On that note, Doxy, where can they find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/ZER0DOXY, twitter.com/ZERODOXY, and twitch.tv/ZER0DOXY.
You know what I think my favorite thing is if you go to the wrong Twitter
Oh yeah.
It basically just says, "Hey, this is Doxy. I just wanted to claim this so no one else would. Go to this one."
Yeah. Yep.
So you can't mess it up. Well, you can.
Yep.
But
Yeah, you'll just be extra stupid because I just fucking told you where to fucking go. No, I'm just
and
kidding.
she'll know, and
It
she'll get
happens-
really
it
mad
happens
like
all
she
the
just
time.
did.
People tweet me about that all the time. They're just like, "Did you know that this exists?" I'm like, "Yeah, I made it."
It's pretty clear. Brian, where can they find you?
Sure, you can pretty much find me anywhere: Twitter, PSN, Xbox Live.
Outside your window.
Yes, yeah, if you want to. But you can only be on a motorbike.
On
You
the
can only be
back of a
crotch rocket.
motorbike, that's where he'll be.
Yeah, you can only be on a crotch rocket outside my window.
With Orlando
No,
Jones.
you can get me at Quiglin. That's Quiglin.
Awesome. And I am Joe McAllister. You can find me at twitter.com/Joe_McAllister. I'm also at twitch.tv/PlayEnlightened in more cases than not. I also just started a personal channel, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it, so don't worry about that until I tell you to. Also, right over at examiner.com/Joe McAllister. So, on behalf of these lovely two folks, we'll see you next time.
Bye,
Later.
everybody. Bye.